Hi, I'm Robin. Get comfortable. Shift around until you find the position your body actually wants to be in tonight, not the correct one, just the one that feels right. Tonight we're going somewhere far from here. Nearly 900 years back, to a small corner of medieval Europe that most of the world has forgotten about. No traffic. No screens. No hum of electricity anywhere. Just a forest, a stone cottage, a fire that's been burning since before you arrived, and a world that moved at a completely different speed. Take a breath in, whenever you're ready. And let it go, however it wants to come out. We'll begin now. The path through the forest is narrow, and it hasn't been walked in a while. You can tell by the moss creeping over the stones, softening every step. Evening is coming down through the branches in patches of gold and gray. Somewhere off to your left, water is moving over rock, unhurried, the way it's probably been moving for 1,000 years. You're not in a rush. There's nowhere else you need to be tonight. The light is fading fast now, the way it does in autumn, and you find yourself pulling your cloak a little tighter without really thinking about it. The air smells like wet bark and cold stone. Then, a light. Small, orange, flickering between the trees. You follow it. The cottage, when it finally comes into view, isn't much to look at. Gray stone, uneven in places, dark timber beams holding the walls together the way they have for decades. Smoke curls up from a chimney that leans very slightly to one side. There's a garden beside it, onions, a few bundles of herb, some beans still clinging to their vines even this late in the year. An old bucket sits at the edge of a well, half full of rainwater. You walk up to the door. Before you even raise your hand to knock, it opens. An old woman is standing there, wiping flour from her hands onto her apron. She looks you over for a second, not suspicious, just curious, the way people who don't get many visitors tend to look at you. Well, she says. You'd better come in before the cold does. Inside, the warmth hits you almost immediately. A fire's going in the stone hearth, throwing soft orange light across timber walls that have gone dark and smooth with age and smoke. There's a wobbly wooden table under the one small window, a clay bowl sitting on it with a chip in the rim, and beside that, a loaf of bread still steaming slightly where it's been cut. It smells like wood smoke. Warm grain. Something with onions cooking low over the fire. You set your cloak down by the door. The woman doesn't offer to take it, she's already moved on, stirring the pot, and she nods toward a chair that creaks a little when you sit in it. Sit, she says. You look like you've been walking since noon. You have been, more or less. Outside, the forest is settling into full dark. Inside, the fire pops every so often, sending up a small shower of sparks that dies before it reaches the ceiling. She doesn't say much while she cooks. That's fine. Neither do you. When the soup is ready, she ladles it into a wooden bowl and sets it down in front of you without ceremony, vegetable, mostly turnip and onion, with a little cheese crumbled on top and more of that bread on the side. Steam rises off it. You taste it. It's simple. It's exactly what you needed. There's a kind of quiet in this room that you don't get much of anymore. No notifications. No hum of anything electronic. Just the fire, and the woman across from you occasionally shifting a log with the iron poker, and somewhere outside, the wind starting to pick up in the tops of the trees. After a while she gets up, adds another log to the fire, and tells you, without you really asking, that this path outside has been used for longer than anyone can say. Farmers heading to market. A merchant now and then. Once, years ago, a group of pilgrims who stayed 3 nights because of the snow. Some people just pass through, she says. Some stay till morning. You look around the room while she talks. Nothing here was bought, it was all made, by someone, for a reason. A woven rug covering part of the stone floor, worn thin in the middle where feet have crossed it for years. Bundles of dried herb hanging from a beam, rosemary maybe, or something you can't quite place. A small clay lamp burning low near the hearth, its flame barely moving. It isn't much. Somehow it doesn't need to be. She leads you to a small room at the back, low ceiling, one narrow window, a bed with a wool blanket folded at the foot of it that looks like it's been mended more than once. "This one's yours tonight," she says, and leaves you to it. You go to the window before anything else. Moonlight is starting to break through the clouds, catching the edges of the branches outside, making them look almost silver. You crack the window open, just a little. If you were with us last time, you already know this place, the stone cottage, the old woman, the forest that hasn't changed in longer than anyone can say. Tonight we're picking up right where we left off. No need to remember any of the details. Your body already knows this place better than your mind does. Get settled. Let your weight sink into wherever you're lying. Breathe in. And out. Let's go back. You wake, inside the dream, inside the story, to the sound of the rain easing off. Not stopping. Just softening, the way it does in the last hour before dawn, when the sky hasn't decided yet whether it's still night. For a while you just lie there, under the wool blanket, listening to the last of it tap against the roof. Somewhere in the other room, you can hear the fire, quieter now, mostly embers, giving off the occasional soft crack as it settles. You're warm. You're not in any hurry to move. Through the narrow window, the dark outside has changed. It's not black anymore, more of a deep blue-gray, the kind of light that means morning is coming even if the sun hasn't shown itself yet. A bird calls once, somewhere in the trees. Then nothing, for a long moment. Then another answers it, further off. You hear the woman moving in the front room before you see her. The scrape of a pot. The soft thud of wood being added to the fire. A kettle, maybe, though you can't quite place the sound. You don't get up yet. There's a particular kind of stillness in a house just before everyone in it is properly awake, half the world still asleep, the other half moving quietly so as not to disturb it. You lie there inside that stillness for a while, blanket pulled up to your chin, watching the ceiling beams slowly become visible as the light outside grows. Eventually, you do get up. The floor is cold under your feet, stone always is, this early, and you pull your cloak around your shoulders before stepping out into the front room. The woman is by the fire, and she glances over without much surprise, like she expected you'd wake around now. "There's bread," she says. "And the last of yesterday's cheese, if you want it." You do want it. You eat by the window this time, watching the forest slowly come into focus outside. The rain stopped completely now, everything out there is wet and dark and glistening faintly where the early light catches it. Drops fall occasionally from branch to branch, a soft irregular sound, nothing like the steady rhythm from the night before. The woman doesn't say much while you eat, same as last night. She's doing something with a needle and thread near the fire, mending, it looks like, though you don't ask what. There's a comfort in not needing to fill every silence with talk. Some mornings just don't need words in them. After a while, she does speak, without really looking up from her work. "You'll be moving on today, I expect." It's not really a question. You nod anyway. "The path splits about an hour past the stream," she says. "Left goes toward the village. Right just goes deeper into the wood, if that's what you're after." She doesn't tell you which one to take. That part, apparently, is up to you. You finish eating. Outside, The light keeps changing, soft gray giving way, slowly, to something with a little gold in it. The forest is starting to make its daytime sounds now, more birds, a distant rustle that might be a deer, or might just be wind moving through low branches. You gather your things. There isn't much, the cloak, whatever you carried in with you, nothing that takes long. At the door, the woman looks up from her mending just long enough to nod at you. No long goodbye. No ceremony. Just a small, tired kind of warmth, the sort that doesn't need many words to come across. Mind the stream crossing, she says. It'll be higher after all that rain. And that's it. You step back out into the cool morning air, and the door closes gently behind you. The forest looks different in the daylight, greener, somehow, even though nothing has actually changed since last night. The path is muddy from the rain, soft under your feet, and the trees are dripping steadily in places where the wind hasn't reached to shake them dry yet. You don't need to decide right now which way to go at that split in the path. Not yet. For now, there's just the walk, the cool air, the smell of wet earth and pine, the occasional patch of early sunlight breaking through where the canopy thins out. Somewhere behind you, faint now, you can still smell wood smoke drifting up from the cottage chimney. You keep walking, unhurried, the forest slowly waking up around you the same way you did. And this is where we'll leave it for tonight. There's no need to reach that fork in the path, or decide anything else. The story can just rest here, in the quiet of the morning for. The path is easier going than it was the night before, drier now, the mud from the rain starting to firm up under the morning sun. You walk without much urgency, the trees gradually thinning as the path bends downhill. About an hour in, just like the woman said, you reach the stream. It's running higher than it probably does most days, brown and quick over the stones, but there's a crossing, flat rock set just far enough apart that you have to actually pay attention to your footing. You cross carefully. Cold water, once, catches the edge of your boot. Then you're on the other side, and the path continues. The forest starts to open up not long after that. Fewer trees. More light. And then, through a gap in the branches, you see it, smoke rising from more than one chimney this time. Rooftops. A village. It isn't large. A cluster of stone and timber houses set around a wide dirt track, a low wall marking the edge of a field where someone's cattle are grazing, unbothered by you or anything else. Smoke drifts up lazily from several chimneys. Somewhere, a hammer is striking metal in a steady, unhurried rhythm, a blacksmith, probably, already at work. A couple of children run past you, chasing something, or each other, laughing about it. An old man sitting outside one of the houses nods at you as you pass, the way people do when a stranger walking through isn't unusual, just mildly interesting. You keep walking, taking it in. There's a small market at the center, not much, a few stalls. Someone selling eggs. A woman with baskets of dried herbs not unlike the ones hanging in the cottage you left this morning. Bread, again, warm from an oven somewhere nearby, the smell of it drifting across the whole square. You stop near the well at the center of the village. It's busy here, people filling buckets, a couple of women talking while they wait their turn, someone's dog lying in a patch of sun, entirely unbothered by the noise around it. Nobody seems to be in any particular rush. That's the thing you notice most, walking through a place like this. Everything happens at the pace it happens at. Bread rises when it rises. Water is drawn when it's needed. Nobody's checking anything, waiting on anything, except the weather and the season. You sit for a moment on the low wall near the well, just watching. The blacksmith's hammer keeps its rhythm somewhere behind you. A cart creaks past, pulled by a single tired-looking horse, loaded with something wrapped in cloth. The driver nods at you without slowing down. The sun's higher now than when you left the cottage. Warmer. You can feel it on the back of your neck, comfortable, the kind of warmth that makes you want to sit still for a while rather than keep moving. Someone, an older woman near one of the stalls, offers you a small cup of something warm. Cider, maybe, or something like it, spiced with whatever they had on hand. You take it. It's sweet, a little sharp at the edges, and warm all the way down. Passing through? She asks, not really needing an answer. You nod. That seems to be enough for her. She goes back to arranging her baskets, and you're left again just watching the square move around you, unhurried, ordinary, the kind of day that probably looked almost exactly the same yesterday, and the day before that, and will again tomorrow. You finish the cup. Somewhere past the last row of houses, the road continues on, presumably toward wherever comes after this, another village, another stretch of forest, something else entirely. You don't need to know where it leads. Not tonight. For now, we'll let the day rest right here. The village doesn't need you to go anywhere else. The road will still be there, whenever you're ready for it, tomorrow, or the next time we come back to this place. Right now, there's just the sun on your shoulders, the sound of the hammer somewhere behind you, slowing now, less frequent, like even the blacksmith is starting to ease into the afternoon. Let your thoughts do the same. You don't have to hold on to the village, or the cottage, or the forest between them. It's all still there, waiting, exactly as it was. Let it go quiet now. Let everything slow down, the way the whole village seems to, once the sun gets high enough that nobody's in a hurry anymore. Sleep well.